Some of the common challenges that students and individuals face are time drain and procrastination. And we have 3 tips that we think will help you overcome these barriers. That is to plan your study time, study smart, and review. To plan your study time, here are some things that you can do. First of all, you'll want to start with scheduling out your day. And this is just a matter of looking at the big events of the day that you have and making sure those are on your calendar or in your planner or on a sticky note that you have in your backpack. Then you'll want to look at your assignments, the things that you have to do for classes. You want to time block these things, because that will help you avoid time drain, where something takes more time than you expected, or procrastination, to help guarantee an amount of time for that task. And then finally, you'll want to break down big tasks into bite-sized pieces, because who wants to look at a task, write paper, and sit down and try to figure out what that means? So you'll want to, for example, put a task that says, write thesis or do research. And you can use a piece of paper to jot these things down. You can use a productivity software or a productivity planner. All of these are good options. So those are some ways that you can schedule your study time. But in order to follow through on these commitments that we've made, we need to learn what it means to study smart. In order to study smart, you'll want to do things like set goals for your study sessions. And this could look like, I'm going to read 35 pages while I sit here, or I'm going to write the introduction to my paper while I sit here. These things can be quantifiable and time-bound ways of looking at the things that you want to accomplish. The next thing is deep work, and we actually do these deep work sessions here on the Sattler campus, where we set an hour or an hour and a half aside, and you write down what you're going to accomplish, like we mentioned before, and then you put your phone at the front of the room, get rid of all distractions, and you just work. And then at the end, you report on how far you got. And finally, there's a method called the Pomodoro technique that you can use either when you're studying individually or in groups. This is where you set a 25-minute timer, then take a 5-minute break, then you set another 25-minute timer, and you do that for 4 sessions before you take a longer break. This is a way to keep your mind engaged and kill procrastination. So now that we've learned how to plan out our study time and study smart, we don't want all this work to go to waste. That would be a shame. So we need to learn to review and refresh what we've learned. And you can do this by going back over your notes and summarizing what you've learned, taking your bullet points and condensing it into a brief summary that you can go back and study. Next, you can use a software, which many Sattler students use, called Anki, that utilizes a method called spaced repetition. Students can create flashcards in Anki, and then based on how well they know those flashcards, the software will know whether or not to produce that flashcard for them to study. It helps to keep those things fresh and flowing. And finally, we can ask questions. Take what you've learned and go around and ask questions of all the students on campus, or your friends, your family members. See what answers they have and try to explain it to them. These are ways that you can solidify these concepts and ideas in your mind. These habits of planning out your study time, studying smart, and learning to review are going to benefit you not only as a student, but as an individual, and will shape your productivity and efficiency for the rest of your life. So if you are looking for a place where you can learn and practice these habits and grow personally alongside a cohort of amazing students, then you should check out Sattler College at sattler.edu. It's a place where you will not only be challenged to build these personal habits, but also be challenged to grow in your faith. So come join us at Sattler College.